The morning fog hung low over the small town of Riverdale. It was the kind of quiet town where everyone knew everyone, where the bakery opened at the same time every day, and where people rarely expected anything unusual to happen. But for 12-year-old Daniel Carter, that morning felt very different. Daniel stood near the bus stop at the corner of Maple Street, clutching his worn backpack tightly. He looked nervous, not because of school, not because of homework, but because of something he had seen the night before, something no one seemed willing to believe. The evening had started normally. Daniel finished his homework at the kitchen table while his mother washed dishes nearby. His father watched the news in the living room, occasionally commenting about the weather or the traffic. Around 9:30 p.m. Daniel went upstairs to his room. His bedroom window faced the empty field behind their house. Usually, that field was quiet, just grass, a few scattered trees, and sometimes the distant sound of crickets. But that night was different. As Daniel prepared for bed, he noticed something strange outside his window. A light. At first, he thought it might be a car passing on the road behind the field, but the light didn't move like a car. It hovered, bright and steady. Curious, Daniel walked closer to the window. The light seemed to float slowly across the field, stopping near the large oak tree in the center. Then something even stranger happened. The light disappeared, and in its place, Daniel saw a shadow moving near the tree. Someone or something was there. Daniel's heart started racing. He watched carefully as the shadow bent down near the ground, digging. It looked like someone was digging a hole. Daniel quickly grabbed his phone and tried to zoom in through the window, but the darkness made it difficult to see clearly. After a few minutes, the shadow stood up, brushed off their hands, and disappeared into the darkness. The field returned to silence. Daniel stayed by the window for several minutes, trying to understand what he had just seen. Finally, he ran downstairs. "Mom? Dad? I saw someone in the field." His parents looked up. "What do you mean?" his father asked. "There was a light," Daniel said quickly, "and someone digging near the oak tree." His parents exchanged a glance. His mother smiled gently. "Daniel, it's late. Maybe you imagined it." "No," Daniel insisted. "I really saw someone," but his father shook his head. It was probably a farmer checking something in the field. Daniel felt frustrated. He knew what he had seen, but nobody believed him. At school the next day, Daniel told his best friend Marcus about the strange event. Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Someone digging in the field at night?" "Yeah," Daniel said, "near the oak tree." Marcus grinned. "Maybe it's buried treasure." Daniel didn't laugh. "I'm serious." Marcus noticed Daniel's expression and realized he wasn't joking. "You really believe something's there?" Daniel nodded. "I know it." Marcus thought for a moment. "Then let's check after school." That afternoon, the two boys walked across the field behind Daniel's house. The grass brushed against their legs as they moved toward the large oak tree. The closer they got, the more nervous Daniel felt. What if nothing was there? What if he really had imagined everything? But then Marcus stopped. "Wait." He pointed toward the ground. The dirt near the tree had been disturbed. Fresh soil covered a small patch of earth. Daniel's eyes widened. "See, I told you." Marcus knelt down. Something was definitely buried here. The boys looked at each other. Curiosity took over. They began digging carefully with their hands. After a few minutes, Marcus's fingers hit something solid. "A box," he said. They pulled it out. It was a small metal container, locked with a rusty latch. Daniel's heart pounded as Marcus slowly opened it. Inside were several stacks of cash. Hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands. The boys stared in shock. "What is this doing here?" Marcus whispered. Daniel suddenly remembered the news his father had watched the night before. A local convenience store had been robbed. The thief had escaped with cash. Daniel felt a chill run through his body. "Marcus, I think we just found stolen money." The boys ran back to Daniel's house and told his parents everything. At first, his father looked skeptical. But when Daniel showed him the metal box, his expression changed instantly. Within minutes, the police were called. Officers arrived and examined the scene carefully. The money matched the exact amount stolen from the convenience store robbery the previous night. One officer turned to Daniel. "You're the one who saw someone digging here?" Daniel nodded. "Yes." The officer smiled. "Well, son, looks like you helped solve a crime." Later that evening, the police arrested a suspect who had been seen near the area. The thief had hidden the stolen money near the oak tree, planning to return later. But Daniel's observation had ruined that plan. When the story spread through town, people were amazed. The same adults who had dismissed Daniel's story began praising him. His father placed a proud hand on his shoulder. "I'm sorry we didn't believe you," he said. Daniel smiled. "That's okay. Sometimes the truth sounds unbelievable. Sometimes people doubt what they don't understand, but that doesn't mean it isn't real." Daniel had trusted what he saw, even when nobody believed him. And because of that courage, a crime was solved and justice was served. From that day on, the people of Riverdale remembered something important. Sometimes the person telling the truth is the one nobody believes, at least at first.